excellent shot there. The guy working this camera is on a big kind of, I don't know what you call it, like a scissor lift. Oh, this is the back cam, sorry. But the guy up on the gantry, like the scissor lift thing. Yesterday it was so windy, he didn't have to like being up there. He said he was moving about 6 foot.
And you can see that Richard Cooper is sticking right to the back wheel now of Lee Jackson as they go down.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great shot.
You know, you've got to think that being as dominant throughout qualifying and practice as he has been, Richard Cooper, this is a pace he can go all day at. You'd have to think that, I think, yeah.
So going through Williams and onto the Bentley straight.
Yeah, the old track joins there from the left, you saw that. It was about another 300 metres longer was the straight originally on the old layout. Who's got the quicker bike? Well,
Kawasaki looks quick enough.
It does, yeah.
So Lee Jackson then drops into the huge chicane at the end. Well, and that typical raised left leg from Lee. Behind them, Mackenzie, Rollo, McConnell.
Cooper had a little look there because Liebert was a little bit wide in the current.
These two, of course, strong Xfinity Superbike contenders.
This is a good lap from Mackenzie in third, I reckon.
And behind him, Rollo, McConnell and Reed holding almost the same pace as the Scotsman as they come howling up the hill now. That is lap 3 complete out of 12 quarter race distance, and the Biltmay Suzuki creeps past into the lead.
Yeah, Mackenzie in third on the Batham's bike, won the last 2 rounds. In the wet at Knockhill, the very wet Knockhill, and in the dry at the World Superbike round at Donington. And that one was run at about 7 o'clock at night. I was just on my way out when I was that late home. I didn't stop and watch all of it.
So number 47 leading the way. Richard Cooper re-establishing himself at the front ahead of Lee Jackson in that distinctive orange helmet. And the beautiful black, red and gold Batham's BMW behind. Well, we're running very wide. It's getting sucked into Agostini's.
Yeah, and listen, I believe that Cooper's capable of this pace really easily because, remember, no qualifying tyres. These are at least as good a conditions we've had all weekend, and he's been batting 49-second laps in, low 49s, which is impressive on a superbike round here. And he's been doing that all weekend, so these laps are 50s, 50.9, 50.5, 50.7 for your leading 3. So he can do these all day, I believe. And I think this is an easy pace for Cooper.
Fastest lap of the race on that last lap, Andy Reid in 6th place, 150.3. Oh, and Lee Jackson having a sneak through there on the inside. Can he make it stick? Not quite. No,
that's the switchback there at that S's, that Brundle, Nelson part of the track. He went in a little bit hot, that got him the position, but then ran really wide on the second part. It's a good line, it's a really nice line because look, he's back into an apex at the end there. And I'll tell you what, I've never seen Jackson riding as aggressively here. No. He's having a go, and maybe
for such a very quiet lad, and that was that a triumphant shake of the fist from Cooper?
That was a waving a fist. I believe that was a waving of the fist in anger at Liebert Jackson because.
But they're the best of mates. They race mini bikes every weekend.
Yeah, but I still think that was an angry little wave from Cooper, but. This is, I believe, what Liebert Jackson really needs to do because I think, and that might be the gap that Cooper needs. Yeah. If Cooper has a couple of laps on his own with a clear track in front of him, I believe he's got the pace to go. And I think Liebert Jackson knows exactly that. And I think he's going to ruffle him up a little bit. And why not?
So Lee Jackson now has just lost that little bit of time, and he's going to have to deal with Taylor Mackenzie. But yeah, it's great to see him riding as ferociously as this. So Lee Jackson, who's an incredibly quiet lad off the track, running strongly in 2nd place. Mackenzie's there though. Rollo's still strong. So too McConnell on his return, and Reed, another who's lost time. Has taken a bit of time to get up to speed during the course of the season. Chrissy Rouse in 7th. Alex Olsen up to 8th with Levi Day. Larty the Finn back to 10th place. So Richard Cooper then leads the way.
Oh yeah, that was Billy McConnell, big slide there, that cost him loads of time. And he's looking down, I don't know whether Billy's got a problem here. He definitely had a look down, he got a really big slide out of the S's and the Nelson portion of the S's. And then had a look down, and you know, sometimes you get a slide where you don't expect it, Jack, and you have a look down just to see if there's any fluids or oil leaking out.
And that means that Andy Reid is right there with him now as they come out of Murray's and as they storm up the hill. McConnell, though, has the advantage over Lewis Rollo. He got him on that lap. So number 3, McConnell, up to 4th place. Rollo back to 5th under pressure from Tyco BMW, Andy Reid.
Yeah, 50.3 for Cooper. That's still a second outside what he managed on exactly the same tyres and setup and in worse conditions, windy conditions, than this.
Runs a bit wide at Wilson's hairpin then, so that look at this bunch behind. McConnell has the advantage, but you can see that Reid, Roust, working hard on the Morello Racing Kawasaki, and gets inside the stocky Scotsman, Lewis Rollo. And right behind them now is Alex Olsen, who rode so impressively in the early stages of this season. This is great racing. Look, these three are right together. Here comes Olsen.
That's Olsen up the inside of Rollo. Rollo on the outside on the Aprilia.
So Cooper leads it, but just from Jackson and Mackenzie. On the 6th lap of 12, and a rousing National Superstock 1000 race here with Richard Cooper, Lee Jackson and Taylor Mackenzie locked together at the front. Billy McConnell through to 3rd place, and a terrific battle going on behind him involving Rollo, Reid, Rouse and Olsen. There they are, and Rollo has got beaten back to the back of that queue. Richard Cooper hasn't escaped from Jackson and Taylor Mackenzie.
Number 8, Rollo on the in competition Aprilia. Ian Newton running the team. Good lad, good team as well. Newton, a brilliant rider back in the day, 250-man Grand Prix, top 10 man. So really good peddler was Ian. And Rollo, have you met Rollo?
I'm not sure if I've met him, but just kind of listened into him.
Yeah, great lad. Kind of stocky.
I'm worried I wouldn't be able to understand a word he says.
You would, yeah. Stocky Scot, very thick Scottish accent, obviously. But he's one of them lads who, he's very pale, but he looks healthy pale, because he's got big red cheeks. He just looks like he'd be at home outside, doing some kind of, outside thing. You know what I mean? What I mean is, I don't think the kid spent a lot of time in his room with a PlayStation. He doesn't look that...
No. Well, as he suffered from dyslexia, academic studies weren't going to be his thing. Really.
Right, okay.
He probably got outdoors and enjoyed himself. Actually, he played hockey and rugby at school, and he looks like a rugby boy, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. He'd be getting out of his way if he were running towards you.
These are the front 3 then, still nailed together with an advantage over Billy McConnell of about 3.2 seconds. But Reid, Rouse, Olsen and Rollo down to 8th place. Levi Day 9th, Emily Latte in 10th. The Ducati of Luke Jones is next up. This is the big battle going on. Rollo running a bit wide and losing a bit of time.
Yeah, I believe this has been a reasonably good lap for Cooper so far, and if we can hold it together, I think this is going to be dropping into the 49s. They've been on 50 so far, low 50s albeit for your leading 3.
And Cooper trying to just creep away now as they've entered the second half of the race, with Taylor Mackenzie now once again condensing the space between himself and Jackson.
Yeah, I think Jackson was doing everything he needed to do to keep Cooper back. It was upsetting him. It was making Cooper ride differently to what he has been doing, not smooth, taking different lines, and also kind of, if somebody's waving their fist at you, you're getting to them.
Yes. I'm going to be fascinated by how they're getting on with one another next weekend, if they're off doing their little mini GPs together on the pit bikes.
You never really know with Cooper. Maybe it was a jokey waving fist. I don't know, because the two do get on really well. That's Cooper and Jackson, your 1st and 2nd place men. They do get on really well off the bikes.
And Andy Reid drops behind Rouse and Olsen, so Reid back to 7th place. Rollo still there in 8th. The other point scorers, incidentally, 12th place for Tom Neve on the Honda. Ben Godfrey 13th, Luke Hedger 14th, Tom Ward into the points in 15th place ahead of Leon Cheacock and Tim Neve.
Yeah, Richard Cooper it wasn't just a 49, 150 flat, and that was about 4/10 quicker than Jackson behind him, and I thought it looked a clean lap from Cooper.
And it was 150.063, so it was 400ths outside Mason Law's impressive lap record.
Yeah, but a second slower than Cooper's managed in qualifying. I mean, that was an astounding time. That's
Lee Jackson.
Yep, ZX-10R Kawasaki you're looking at there in the hands of Lee Bob Jackson.
So the Lincolnshire Plumber, former Superstock 600 champion, that was back in 2012.
Yep. a really neat and tidy lad, not just on his bike, but although he hasn't been neat and tidy in the first part of this race, hasn't Lebob? But Lebob's a really neat and tidy kid. Everything he's got is tidy. I reckon he's one of them kids who had a tidy bedroom even as a lad. Hang on, that's really wide. Oh. That's cost Lebob some time as that. And he's rushing a little bit. This is not like Lee Jackson.
Yeah, because he'd sucked Cooper in for a few moments then.
And I think he knew that. So the leading three bikes, this is how competitive this championship is. You've got the Suzuki, cross the frame 4, normal fire and order. Same for the Kawasaki, 1000cc, cross the frame 4, and the same again for the BMW. The only interesting thing about the BM is that Batham's BM is last year's BM. It's not the new S1000 double RBM. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's been the benchmark 1 litre sports bike now for years.
All these three guys, of course, former British Superbike Championship racers. Lee Jackson spent 4 years in the British Superbike Championship. I beg your pardon, 3 years, and then returned to Stock Thou last year with that victory at Cadwell Park.
Yeah, Cooper's won British Superbike rounds. He's also won Superstock 1000 Championship. So Cooper's never. You're not stopping that, Taylor, and that's cost him. Grass is going to be slippy. It's been wet.
So he has to cautiously come back in, and I think he's got back in ahead of McConnell in 4th place.
He's still in 3rd, but look at the tyres. Dirty tyres. Going to be really steady around there, and that's Hamilton's. And he's got to be steady around this one as well, and he knows it, look.
Oh, Billy trying to unnerve him straight away.
And does.
So, 32-year-old Billy McConnell, originally from Adelaide in South Australia, moves through into a potential podium position on his return to action.
Yeah, and this is... And did you see that Al Jackson knew immediately when Taylor came past? Look, he just gave him the room. Look, just move out of the way, let him go past and get yourself tipped into the corner. He knew he was running wide.
Smart bit of thinking.
Yeah, this is the pass. That's close. But what Taylor has to do is clean those tyres up. You see the dirt on the outside, the sort of earth. And so you've got to... You need at least one corner each way to get them tyres going again.
And as the two leaders then dip through Murray's, the battle is going to be on with McConnell, Mackenzie, Rouse, Olsen for those top 6. And I think already he's back through ahead of McConnell. He is Taylor Mackenzie back into 3rd place. Number 3, McConnell, OMG Suzuki. Number 69, Chrissy Rouse on the old James Whittam number, riding the Morello Racing Kawasaki.
Yeah, and that's kind of spoilt it at the front for us a bit, hasn't it?
Slightly, but it's made this battle for the rostrum look rather interesting.
Yeah,
onto the 10th lap of... Oh, Luke Jones.
Yeah, that's another...
It looks like he's in trouble with that Ducati.
Retirement. Yeah, that lad doesn't have a lot of luck, doesn't Luke?
So the High Sparks Motorsport Ducati may have run out of sparks, and the big 1200cc twin-cylinder Duke pulls out. Yeah,
it's allowed to be 1200 because it is a twin. It doesn't rev just quite as hard. That's last year's V-twin. Panigale at 1200cc, not the V4R that's at 1000cc.
Andy Reid's had a really bad lap. He's lost about 6 seconds on the one lap and dropped to 12th place, just ahead of Hedger, Ward and Leon Geacock.
Yeah, that'll be a run-on. That'll be just missing his braking point, running wide, staying on the track probably. And there's a couple of places here where that's really easy to do, Jack. You just get sucked into these long, hanging, constant radius corners.
Storming down the Bentley Straight then, BMW, Suzuki, Kawasaki, nose to tail. Cooper and Jackson on Suzuki and Kawasaki leading the way. Alex Olsen there in the background on bike number 75. The city-born lad on the team IMR BMW.
Yeah, unfortunate for number 77 there, Taylor Mackenzie, because he did have the pace. The lap before he went winging straight on there down at Angostides, he'd actually put the fastest lap in. He had been catching Jackson, and the pair of them had just been catching Cooper, only by a 10th though.
So it's the complete lap 10 of 12 then. This is onto the penultimate lap, and Billy McConnell still right in there and fighting for that potential podium.
Yeah, the Batham's bike for me is probably the best looking bike on the grid, certainly this grid, and I'd venture it's the best looking bike on any grid at BSB at the minute. It's brilliant. And Tim and Matt Batham, the Brewers, are the best sponsors in the world, because that's the Interbikes. They ride bikes, they go on track days, they've got road bikes, they've got classic bikes. So they understand this job really well. They're not a sponsor who expects results just because they put a few quid in. These lads know exactly what's going on, and in the team manager, team principal, call them what you want, Paul Stage and Michael Rutter, they've got a really savvy team manager panel. You never thought we were going to be saying that, would you? But he is.
And of course the breweries, the brewery is only a mile from Michael's parents' house, and so they're very long-standing and loyal sponsors.
It's not bad ale either.
No, I believe so.
Well, you don't want to be drinking any of that, Jack. Your normal half pint, it'd be blowing bubbles, you would.
It wouldn't be a pretty sight. We're on the 11th lap of 12, and with Lee Jackson still giving it everything, and he's still there with Cooper.
Not only that, you know, the way he's been riding this race, we know he's going to have a go, don't we?
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
So Lee getting a bit of a speed wobble on the FS3 Kawasaki. He's riding it to the very edge.
Yeah, Jackson falls in the championship, and no real threat to Cooper, I don't think. So we'll see how, if he does have a little bit of a go. I mean, how hard is Cooper going to fight back? Probably quite hard.
Yeah, they're best mates. He wants to see him off, doesn't he?
Well, I want to find out what that fist shaking was about, because I'm not sure they are just best mates at the minute.
On to the final lap then. This is the Pirelli National Superstock 1000 Championship, and Lee Jackson right there with race leader and championship leader Richard Cooper on the build-based Suzuki.
Right.
Just 3/10 separating Mackenzie and McConnell, and we've got a new lap record. Lee Jackson 49.892. He finally establishes an official lap beneath the magic 150.
Yeah, not the fastest lap ever. Remember, lap records have to be set in races, not in qualifying.
Yeah, but that is the official new lap record. Now, what's Leibov got? Look, he doesn't seem to just have the sprint out of the turns, but what about the brakes?
No, well, this is down into Agostini's. That's a good overtaking opportunity into Agostini's missed. He's on the outside, it's close. There's no way he's going to get past here, I don't think. This is Hamilton's. It's treacherous little corner. It's very flat camber, difficult to make a move there. This is Oggy.
The build base hauls quickly out of the corners,
yeah,
James.
But that might not be the bike. I believe that's little Richard Cooper getting on the power fairly early. And this is where Leibov needs to be building it and getting a slipstream. Didn't get a really good run out of there. Is he in the slipstream? Yes, he is. But I don't think he's going to be close enough at the end of the straight. Time's running out for Leibov, because I think that's where he should have been.
But he's close enough that he's pulled some stuff going through the chicane before now, and he's going to have another go. Oh, he runs it wide. He's out on the dirt. He rescues it brilliantly. Could have gone well down at that point, but he rescues the FS3 Kawasaki. I knew he was going to have a dip going through the chicane on that final lap. It had to be done, but it's going to be Richard Cooper emerging victorious.
Yeah, and probably quite angry.
I've never seen an angry Richard Cooper. So Richard Cooper then wheelies triumphantly up the hill here, up the centre straight, to take victory in the Pirelli National Superstock 1000 Championship after beating off the attentions of the aggressive Lee Jackson. Second place, and then third place for Taylor Mackenzie ahead of Billy McConnell. What a comeback for Skippy. Fifth place for Chrissy Rouse. Sixth place for Alex Olsen. Look at these guys storming up the hill. Ooh, did the Aprilia hang on?
He did.
Yes, and Levi Day in seventh became leader, charged through to become leading Aprilia ahead of Tom Neve, who made a late charge past Emili Lati and Lewis Rollo. That is Richard Cooper, the winner for build-based Suzuki, extends his championship lead. And Leibov Jackson on the FS3 Kawasaki enjoyed that. We want to see more racing like that from Lee Jackson. That was superb stuff. And the crowd here applauding what was a very, very entertaining race. So, the winner then, Richard Cooper. Second place, Lee Jackson. Third place, Taylor Mackenzie. We'll talk to them after the break.